Hey guys, welcome to I don't even know what I want to call this, my thoughts on migraines. Now, I am a migraine sufferer, which is so frustratingly annoying. I literally had one yesterday, and unfortunately, the side effects of migraines, you once you get them, it actually takes a couple of days for your body and your brain and everything like that, especially depending on how extremely severe they are, to get over them and feel normal again. Now, I just wanted to talk about the most recent one I had because I have no idea. There's two things there's a possibility that triggered it, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, I've studied, I've researched and all that sort of stuff. I've even been to a specialist, a migraine brain head specialist, to see what was going on, to why I was getting them, how I can stop them and everything like that. One of the things that I found, and I know this is going to be like, man, that's the most random thing I've ever heard, but I was actually watching the television show called House. And on that television show, this is many, many years ago, she actually talked about a lady who went to a cheese and wine festival and went to the hospital with a migraine, and they said just give her some. Well, I forget what they gave her, but in my brain something went, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And then I actually researched it, and it actually came up with the fact that cheese is a trigger of migraines. Now, that's one of my big ones, and I believe that definitely, because when my wife and I were in America many years ago now, I kept having $5 pizzas and all that sort of stuff and eating cheese, and I got so many migraines over there, and I realized I believe it was from the cheese. Now, as I said, I haven't, since I discovered that discovery, I don't eat cheese anymore at all. Cheese is not in my diet at all in any way, shape or form. But something I just want to say, I had one yesterday, and the thing is, as I said, I haven't had cheese in a very, very, very long time, but this is something interesting. It could have been this, and I just don't know if it was, but I feel like it was because I haven't had this either in a really, really long time, and that's white sugar. I don't eat white sugar ever, 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 ever. I always eat raw sugar or brown sugar, whatever you want to call it. Not the brown sugar as in the stuff that you cook with, but just the normal grainy brown sugar, the stuff that they have at cafes and stuff like that. And that's what I have my cup of tea with. The other thing I thought it was, and it's a high possibility, but I don't think it was, because I had it again last night for dinner. I had just a little bit and I didn't get another one, and that's MSG. Now, MSG is definitely a ginormous trigger, but I don't believe what I had the night before last had MSG in it. I could be wrong about that. It could have, but who knows? It was from an Asian place, an Asian restaurant, and they have MSG in almost everything they have, which is so unfortunate, but it is what it is. With people like me, I just really have to watch what I eat, and that's why it's so difficult for me to go out with others and socialize and stuff like that, especially at dinner functions, because I've just got to be so anal with what I eat. I can't just have anything willy-nilly, because I can't have MSG, and I definitely can't have cheese. And man, cheese is on everything. Oh my gosh. And so is MSG, and especially gluten. Gluten is in everything. A beautiful, beautiful dear friend of mine, massive shout out to Rachel. Love you so much. You're so awesome. Rachel, my dear friend Rachel, she can't have anything in gluten, because it's messed her up for years and years and years. It's just the suckiest thing ever. So her and her husband, Caleb, they just totally steer clear of gluten and have everything else in the world without gluten in it. But I want to talk about migraines. Now, as you said, my face went pretty serious just then, because it's a very serious subject. Serious subject. Now, I haven't struggled with them intensely, but I do get them throughout the year. And I'm not going to tell you what the pill is that I take, because it's really different for everyone, but sometimes it varies. Like, for example, yesterday I did not see the one that I had coming a mile away. I did not see that coming a mile away. Like as I said, I don't even understand what triggered it. It was so weird. But then I spoke to a friend of mine, and she said her and someone else got that migraine again as well yesterday. I was like, wow, that's a little bit weird. She was saying something about it relating to, you know, the clouds coming down or the pressure, and I don't know. I don't know. I think that's a little bit funny. I'm not saying anyone's wrong. I just don't really understand how that have anything to do with the inside of your brain, you know. So what happened is I just felt funny. I really wish I could understand what it had to put it into words of how exactly I felt, but I felt off. It started so subtly, and it's just, there's something in my brain, and it just feels weird. It's a really weird. I don't even like talking about it because I'm, you know, nervous that it's going to trigger something again. But as I said, I don't know what triggers it is, but it just felt weird. It felt really weird. And if you get extreme migraines, you can actually not even be able to speak correctly, but I'll get to that in a second. I just felt weird. I felt really weird. And what the one thing that I know straight away if I'm getting a migraine, and this is me personally, straight away I know that I'm getting a migraine, is I get my vision gets blurry. It blurs, and I wish I could describe this. But the easiest way I can describe it to you is if I read something and what I'm reading and I can't see the full thing unless my eyes pan across it completely, and it's actually kind of like blacked out, and it's the most messed up feeling in the world, guys. Seriously, you have no idea how frustrating that is, especially when people ask you questions. Literally, I cannot tell you how frustrating it is when you're sitting there with a migraine. The last thing you want to do is talk to people, because you know that when you talk, you're probably not going to make sense, and they're going to be like, what the fuck what did you just say? It's, geez, you have no idea. So when it comes to this blurred, like you just there's actually a YouTube video from Watch Mojo, and straight away the second she spoke, I knew instantly she had a migraine coming on, because it blurs your speech. And I was watching it, and I commented straight away. I'm like, I knew as soon as I saw it, I knew that was a migraine, because I've been there, I've had it before. The worst cases I've ever had were literally when I had this slurred speech, and you just can't speak straight, but your brain is thinking the weirdest things. Like sometimes a stupid song goes through your head. It's real. I don't even know how to explain it. Just sometimes you just think really unusual and weird stuff, and you're like, what in the world did I just think that? Like, what? Why is that even in my head? And sometimes that can actually frustrate you a little bit more. Guys, I'm going to tell you one thing, one imperative key thing that a paramedic actually told me, and if he hadn't told me, then they probably would have had to put me out. Honestly, I genuinely think they would have had to knock me out. My hands, I was so stressed. And because it was one of the heaviest ones I've ever had in my life. As I said, I just came from a day of eating cheese. Like, I just mung down on cheese, and all it hit me like a sack of potatoes. So I was laying in the hospital bed, and they were, prepping me up, putting needles in me, and he saw me going like this, and my hands turned into like velociraptors, like they were turning in on themselves, because of the tension and the stress I was putting my body under. And he said, breathe. You need to focus on your breathing, and then I did. I literally just focused and would just calm myself down, told myself it was okay, it was fine, it was going to be okay. And my beautiful, incredible wife was there the entire time. Baby, I'm so grateful that I have you in my life. You're amazing. I hope you watch this one day. If not, thank you. You're amazing. Best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. She was just there, and just a soothing person, just telling you it's going to be okay, because you really have to self-talk yourself. You've really got to speak over your mental thoughts to say it's going to be okay. Just keep breathing, relax as much as you possibly can. I think now that the paramedic has told me that, that's one thing I don't do, is I don't freak out anymore. And that's one thing that I found when I had migraines when I was younger. Oh, just a disclaimer, I'm almost 36 this year. I'm 36 in November, so just to want to give you an indication of how long I've suffered from these for. So I'm 36 years old this year. Thank you. Thank you. That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. So back to the slurred. I don't have one now. It's a weird thing to say. Slurred speech pattern. Slurred speech pattern is when you're trying to speak to someone, and for example, they said, "Have you taken anything?" That's what one of the people in the hospital said. "Have you taken anything?" And I went to say, I just couldn't verbalize it. And then the one thing I could verbalize was, "Help me, God." And she said, "What did he say?" And my wife said, "Oh, nothing." Like, as in, like, no, that had nothing to do with anything. The worst part about having a migraine is when somebody is trying to communicate to you. That's the worst part. I've thought to myself all my life, if you had a migraine and you're in the middle of the desert or something extreme like that, and you had to make a phone call to tell them where you were or something like that, that would be really hard. Because what if non-verbal people don't have the ability to communicate where they are? I believe there's apps out there that can actually, tell the ambulance exactly your location to come and get you and all that sort of stuff. But one of the things that scares me the most about having a migraine is you kind of think the worst of a situation that you're in. I mean, you just do. One of the things that happens is you just get so scared that you're going to end up like a vegetable, or you're going to end up just in a really, really bad state, like a really bad state of mind. And it's really difficult to bring you out of that when you're in so much, it's funny because, and this is just me, the pain of a migraine doesn't actually start straight away. That's actually something that comes later. The pain of a migraine is actually almost the last part of a migraine. I'll give you an example of the pain of a migraine. When I woke up this morning and I rested all day yesterday, from probably just after lunchtime and then the rest of the day and all night, you just got to rest, guys. You've just got to rest. You've got to lay down, turn the lights off, dim everything. If you need to listen to music, don't put it up loud. Like, light is something that really, 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 really affects migraines. Like, seriously, far out. I can't leave the house without sunglasses on. I literally have about 3 pairs of the exact same sunglasses. I have a pair in my car, I have a pair in my wife's car, I have a spare pair in the house, and I have a spare pair in case I ever lose another pair. So I have about 4 or 5 pairs of the exact same sunglasses or everywhere I go, because it's imperative that I have sunglasses on, because the light really, really affects my eyes. And I know that I have light on me right now, the big lights, the LED lights on me right now, but I'm not looking at them. I'm looking at I'm looking at you, the computer, the phone. I forget where I was going with that. So the light is a huge factor. The pain doesn't come until after. So what you get first is the visual. Sometimes I get blurred. The sides go fuzzy. That's what I get sometimes first, or it starts here. It's like this little fuzzy thing starts here, and then it goes bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you just got to rest. I wish I knew what it was that is the biggest cause of it. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I wish I could tell you what it was, but I don't know. There's so many foods for me, I think, is the biggest trigger. For foods. But other than that, it's just something that you got to be prepared for all the time, because you don't know when they're gonna hit you. You'd never know when it's gonna happen. Another big thing with migraines, guys, is the one thing that you want more than anything is you want comfort. You want someone, personally, this is just me personally, but I need comfort. I need somebody to tell me it's going to be okay, because my mind is freaking out about what's happening right now, because what I'm experiencing I shouldn't be experiencing, and I know, and the pain that comes after the eye thing, and it messes you up. and I haven't had this in a really long time. But I believe the reason why I haven't had this in a really long time is because I'm super anal about drinking water every day. I drink water every single day. Now, I don't drink water every meal, but I drink water, especially when it's hot. I just have to suck back water like it's grandpa's old cough medicine. I really do. Now, the throbbing feeling, I really do believe that that's the biggest part of you not having enough water in your system for your brain to be able to cope with what's happening in it right now, because it's under so much pain and stress and tension and stuff like that. So I believe that the biggest thing that you can actually stop the throbbing, literally the throbbing, is purely just drink water. Now, that's what I was going to say. Now I remember what I was going to say now. Sorry about that, guys. I woke up this morning and bending down, because the blood is rushing to your head, you will stand back up again and you'll just go whoa, 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 whoa. Like it's like blood that wasn't there before is now really there. And that is an indication. Don't go to work. Seriously, have a day off. Realistically have a couple of days. When I have a really bad migraine, sometimes I even think to myself, maybe I should have 2 days off to really, really get over it. Guys, work isn't going anywhere. You're not going to miss anything. Your health is number one priority. Health and family is number one priority. Seriously, that is not a joking matter in any way, shape or form. If you get that throbbing sensation, you're just like, whoa. One, remember to do, this is one thing that I find is a huge coping mechanism. I find this really, really effective. Now, it can make you sick. It definitely can make you sick. And if you feel sick from it, throw up. Seriously, throw up, because you're going to feel so much better after having a good throw up. Seriously. Yesterday I didn't technically throw up. It was kind of weird. I actually just, a lot of phlegm came out of my mouth. A lot of phlegm. I just kept dribbling in the toilet. I apologize. I'm not trying to make this sound disgusting. I'm just telling you what the experience is for me. And yeah, a lot of phlegm just kept coming out of my mouth. I just kept dribbling. And then, I didn't actually throw up. That was funny yesterday. I don't think I felt like this before, but it was really weird. I went to throw up and I got a really, really, really sore, and I don't know what it was from, but I got a random pain in my chest. I don't know if it was from my chest or my esophagus. I don't know what it was, but something didn't want to let me throw up, and I was like, "Whoa, no, I'm not gonna. I don't want that. That hurt more than this coming up, so I don't know what that was." But I kept dribbling. I just kept dribbling, and then I just went, "No, I'm gonna go lay down." So I just laid down in bed. I just chilled out. I turned the lights off, closed the curtains. Sometimes it's a really good idea, and I know this. A lot of people might find this a little bit weird. I know they might find this a little bit weird, but just to keep my head cool, I understand if you put a blanket over you and that's for comfort, but try and keep as cool as possible. If you have air conditioning in your room, turn the aircon on and definitely turn the fan on. Just to keep your head cool, because obviously you don't want to get elevated temperature, because that's even worse. So that's what I really want to say about migraines, guys. And then, as I said, I woke up today. I still felt a little bit, but I was okay to drive. I couldn't even drive my car home yesterday. I had to pick it up this morning. So I woke up and I was fine. I think I wasn't fine, but I felt okay to be able to be a human being. But I don't like being around other people when I've come off a migraine at all. I try and avoid that like the plague, because I just think that you just need to chill. You just need to give your brain, your body just time to chill, just to relax, just to really ease yourself back into whatever it is that you do. So there's my thoughts on migraines, guys. Please, if you are a migraine sufferer and you know something that I don't about the best cure, the best way to get rid of it, I'd really, really appreciate your feedback in the comment section below. I really would. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do movie reviews. and just any sorts of reviews that really come to me that I think that really need a review. I really appreciate that. Please subscribe. Please leave a like on this. If you're a migraine sufferer, leave a like and support this cause. Even if you're not, I really appreciate your like on this movie review. Subscribe, leave a like, click the bell for notifications. Please leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me if you've suffered from them from any period of time. What's it been? What's the situation be like? I'd really love to converse and see where you're at in your situation in life, or you know someone. I'm pretty sure everyone knows someone who's a migraine sufferer. And anyway, thank you so much for your time, guys. I really value you watching this review on migraines. And yeah, I'll keep you posted for anything else that I can think of. And until my next review, please take care of yourselves. This is Superman Steve, flying.